It's Week 10 of the National Football League, and we'll see this team's leader at quarterback. He comes in 5th in passing touchdowns so far. Great game in store for y'all under the lights on Sunday night.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy night, and we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And Goff going to look to throw right away. He's got it complete to Gibbs. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, but all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. The numbers for St. Brown a week ago. 3 catches, 70 yards.
And the competition gets a little bit tougher here because he's got to go against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL against the pass. The latest incarnation of the no-fly zone.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Counter play, here's Gibbs. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Back to throw, Goff. And his throw here's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Goff throwing again. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Caught on the slant, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. The numbers for Mixon last week, very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Here we go. Go.
Again, it's Mixon. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
In motion goes the tight end. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Mixon with a first down carry. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 22 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
70 Rangers, 19 tight.
Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. That's complete to Dell. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, They want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Let's go now. Mustang 19. 79 Bronco. Check, 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 check. Ready.
Throwing now is Stroud. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Street, street. Cup 19, Cup 19.
As Stroud now to throw. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Buffalo 18. Warriors 70. Set, go. Panther 11. Panther 11. Go.
4th down. Stroud going to try to throw for him. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here to about the 35, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He's airing it out for Williams. And this throw will be intercepted. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Well, the home team's offense, led by their wide receiver, headed out for their 2nd possession. And he's been as productive as anyone in the NFL in the middle part of the season. The NFL's leader in receiving yards to this point, and he doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. He'll let this go deep for Collins. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if the defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
Stroud looking to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play there on third down. 51 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
19 tight, 19 tight. Check smash, Dragon 60. Big Lion.
The throwing again is Stroud. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now Stroud. This is caught. It's Kirk. Down the left sideline. And touchdown. A great effort there. 69 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Off play action. Here's Goff. Under pressure, and down he goes. That play buried behind the line by the linebacker, Nick Vigil.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
They need 18 yards here on third down. Here's Goff. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Vigil drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's returnable now for Smith. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
18, Pioneer, Mustang 19, check, hurt, hurt. Ready.
Stroud. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Gibbs straight ahead. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll send the tight end in motion. Goff now looks to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Goff. To the sideline and incomplete. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. This one from 35 yards away. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Mixing up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Stroud to throw it. Mixon on a slant. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, Dell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw again. That's complete. It's Collins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. In motion right, that's Collins. Here goes Stroud again. Rolling to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Stroud now on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Josh Oliver, another strong game as his guys moved to 9-1 on the season. Next, we head off to check out another game. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. The Bears continue their winning ways as they run their mark to 6-3 with the victory. Lastly, on Monday Night Football on 11-11, Dolphins and Rams from SoFi in L.A. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently second in the NFL in rushing. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, They're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Check, man. Hey, check that. Streak. Hey.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Josh Rosen, 65 yards. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
60 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue?
They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 39, Stroud, throw left side complete. That's Collins. And that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Looking to throw. Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. The numbers throwing the ball have been great. He's up over 300 yards now for the game. 2 yards to go, second down. Back to throw. Stroud to the right side and caught by Dell. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. Stroud will look to throw once more. Open man is Kirk, complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Throwing now is Stroud. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. They'll send Kirk in motion right. Again, it's Stroud. He's got room to roam, and he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
As Stroud now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Oh, Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. He'll get this one to Patrick. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On the give, here's Gibbs. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 116 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now it's gone. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And as we check out the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns coming into the weekend, see a familiar name there near the top of the leaderboard, currently 2nd in that category. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
60 Bobcat.
Stroud looking to throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Stroud. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line. Second and goal. Stroud. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Third and goal, Stroud. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 3 yards out. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. And the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an outside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 127 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Another run for Gibbs here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Handoff now to Gibbs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now it's Gibbs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And they take a knee. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that, not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Stroud. That's going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had him for a second, but the razzle-dazzle will not work out. It's 2nd down. Now Stroud. He's got a man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.